So we had 4 inches of rain yesterday, and 3 of those came within a 2-hour window. So it was coming down in buckets, and the Supertunias at the time looked really sad because they were all matted down from the rain, but they are looking fantastic this morning. So I figured, why not come out on this beautiful day and show you all the 5 Supertunias that I have in my garden this year. So as I turn my camera around, you'll see our porch is here on the left, and several of my containers are looking great, including the Supertunia Vista Jazzberry. So I guess I should just start right here. It is a phenomenal plant. I definitely recommend it. It is really vigorous. It's part of the Vista series from Proven Winners. So those are the biggest, most vigorous Supertunias out there, and they just get huge. This is one plant in this pot, and it's already starting to take over what I had planted in here with it, which is the Daisy May. This is one that I was trying to save from our clay soils, and a purple sage, which still looks really nice. And I think eventually when this starts blooming, that'll be really pretty combination with these jazzberry flowers. But this is a really great one for both containers and the landscape. So let me show you this one in the landscape too. This is part of my breakfast garden, and what I see when I look out my breakfast window every morning. I want to show you what this plant can look like in the landscape. This is one plant here, one plant here, and one plant here. So I have 3 in this spot. They are filling in so nicely. I decided to go get my tape measure. Let's see how big this is. I planted this about 6 weeks ago, and it's now 2 feet wide. So that's just huge for an annual, especially this early in the season. It looks wonderful. I have not fertilized it since I planted it. I gave it an organic slow release fertilizer during planting, and that is it. So this is just what it looks like naturally, without any additional water soluble fertilizer or anything like that. This is the Supertunia Vista Jazzberry in its natural form. I don't feel the need to push this plant at all. It looks great on its own, and I just love the vibrant color on these. So what a great landscape plant. I really do think this one probably shines its best in the ground. Back over to the side of my porch, I want to show you this side bed that I'm working on right now. This one is definitely a work in progress. I'm working on a rock border here, and I just expanded this portion of the bed, and I'm adding this area to the bed as well. There are a few plants that I got from Creekside that will be going in this space here, so hoping to get that started later this week. This bed faces northeast and has a mixture of part sun to full sun plants. And I did put one of these Supertunia Vistas in here. This is a new one for 2026. This is Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz. This one would probably like to be in a little bit more sun because it's a little bit shaded from the roof here. But as the sun angles change going into summer, I think that this one will get more sun as the season progresses. So I have this planted next to one of the Super Venas, a peach one here, which I think is a really nice combination. I think those 2 colors look nice together. So, and a saucy red. This is a saucy red salvia from Southern Living. So a little drift of the peachy reds here and the cool jazz. This one is more of a cool lavender pink. And I can show you what this one looks like in the full sun as well. On the side of our property, I have a developing screen of podocarpus and some conifers, a camellia, and azalea here. And I plant annuals each year in between each of these plants. Earlier this season, I shared a video planting these sun patiens here. And then I came back and added a few Supertunia Mini Vistas. This pink variety is Supertunia Mini Vista Pink Cloud, which is a new variety for 2026. And I'm so excited about this plant. The Vista Mini series, if you're not familiar with it, is a smaller, tighter, more compact version of the Vistas. They flower beautifully all summer long, and I'm so excited to try this new variety this season. It has done great so far. These are gorgeous petite pink flowers with a green throat. I just think that's so pretty, the contrast with the green and the pink, and there's a little hint of white in there as well. This is so pretty, and I can definitely see it from a distance in my garden. So excited to see what these do later this summer. And I have 3 planted here in this border. And when I zoom out, you can really tell how compact these are. Let's walk over here to the slope, and I'll show you first the Supertunia Mini Vista White. So I do need to come back and work on this edge a little bit. This is really pretty as a border plant, and I think this would be really pretty along a sidewalk just to soften the edge of some concrete or anything like that. And it's just such a bright pop of color. White always stands out in the garden. I'll just come back in here and fix this edging here just to make sure that the grass doesn't grow up into it. But right now it's looking pretty great. On the other side of my abelia, I have the Supertunia Vista Bubblegum II. This is a new and improved version of bubblegum, and the flowers are much more vibrant. You can probably tell just by looking in this video, but definitely in person. When I saw this plant in person, I knew immediately that there was something different about this plant, and I'm just so thrilled with the color. It is beautiful. And it pairs nicely with lantana. You know, so many of our lantanas have shades of pink, and this particular one looks beautiful. That combination of yellow and pink is just beautiful in the landscapes. These 2 plants have not been in the ground as long as the jazzberries, but they will fill out this space. This is a new annual perennial border that I planted up this spring. Most of these plants were just put in the ground within the last few weeks. I'm so pleased with how this has turned out so far. There's so much more color here than there was before, so I'm thrilled with this. Water is my biggest challenge in this bed. It flows down the slope here into this spot, and I have planted so many native perennials here, like echinaceas, that just end up rotting out in the wintertime. It's just too wet for them here. So I've been gradually improving this area, and then we also have this area right here where the water drains down from the fence along here. And then somewhere in this area, it comes out into the lawn. So it kind of comes down like this and then curves out this way. So then there ends up being a drier spot somewhere in here that is easier to work with. That being said, I have planted a ton of different plants in this bed this season just to try things out and see what thrives. So definitely stay tuned for more about this border throughout the season. This is one area that really stands out to me right now. I have a clump of Salvia greggis here and then a drift of Supertunias in front and a drops of Jupiter oregano from Proven Winners off to the side, along with some swamp milkweed here on the end. So these Salvia greggis are fantastic and a hummingbird magnet. I have one red variety here planted with 3 pink ones. and these attract the hummingbirds all day long. If I'm wondering where my hummingbirds are, I usually look out here and they're somewhere around these plants. These are so vibrant, love the color. And then in front, the drops of Jupiter oregano, that'll bloom later in the summer. Then the Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz, the new variety, next to the Mini Vista White. You can definitely tell the difference between the Mini Vistas and the Vistas here. So this one is really starting to spread out into the other plants, whereas the white is just more compact and staying in place where you plant it. Here's another one of the Supertunia Vista Cool Jazz, and this one is definitely the biggest. This one is probably a 1.5-foot clump now, but it's so pretty. I love it planted next to the Nepeta. I love these cool pink lavender flowers. It's just so pretty. I think anything with blue foliage would also look really nice next to this plant. So all 5 of my Supertunias are looking great right now. The Mini Vistas look great as a border. And then the Vistas get large and you can just fill any open spot in your garden with this. And it just looks beautiful. I think they pair nicely with all other colors in your garden. And I think it's really great that there's so many shades of pink to pick from. You can go for cooler tones like this one, or you can go with hotter pinks like the Jazzberry. And there's just something for everyone. So I love these so much, and I'm so thankful that the deer have not been in my garden yet this year. Crossing my fingers that they stay away a little bit longer. I know these will be one of the first on their list if they do come. So anyways, the rest of this border is looking great. I will touch on these Bidens here because they look fantastic. I love this color so much. It's so bright and vibrant. Looks beautiful next to this dark foliage dahlia and my double play doozy spireas, which are another one of my favorites. They are just starting to come into bloom and they will bloom all summer long. So I'm so excited as these flush out over the next couple of weeks. So that's all I have for today. If you're curious about the other plants that I have in my slope garden, I will link my slope garden tour here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.